In this video today, I'm going to share some Procreate beginner mistakes that a lot of people can make and then how to fix them. So let's just jump straight in. I'm going to open up Procreate here. If you're new to my channel, then hello, my name's Carly and I've been drawing on Procreate for about 6 years now. So I have definitely learned a lot and I hope that these things that I share will also help you. So let's go over the first thing, which is avoiding to draw everything on the same layer. The great thing about Procreate is that you can use so many layers, and I'd really take advantage of these. As you can see in this illustration, I use layers for so many different things. Any small parts like the coffee mug here, I've added new layers on top for every small part of it, just in case I want to change the colors, tweak things around. Then if it's on its own layer, you can just hide it, change the color, and it doesn't affect anything else. If you're going to draw everything on the same layer, it's just going to make it a lot harder. Here's an example of a sketch I did. So I did like a really base sketch on one layer, but then to put down more detail, I put that on a new layer. So I did the hair and then I did the details for the face. This part I did on its own layer. Again, because it kind of would overlap, I just separate the layers, because you can make as many layers as you want. There's no rules in how many layers you have, so yeah, I would just make as many layers as you want. Using the wrong canvas size can just affect the quality of your image and like make it very pixelated if it's too small. So to make a new canvas, you actually have a few default canvas sizes that come with Procreate. As you can see, I have got a lot of canvases saved here, which I don't use all of these anymore. Like, I don't know, they just all build up, over time. There's quite a lot. But to make a new canvas, you can just come up to this little plus symbol. And the one that I usually stick with the most is 3000 by 3000. This is a good base canvas if you just want a square image, because it doesn't make your image pixelated, and if you zoom right in, it's still very good quality. 600 DPI is like the DPI I usually stick with. It actually stands for dots per inch. I feel like this number also is good for printing if you are going to use your images to print on products in the future, or like if you wanted to blow it up in a really big size for something. Zooming in is really great for like getting all the small details in your illustration, but sometimes when you work so close up and you haven't zoomed out and really seen the picture in like a smaller image, you can actually create things that look a little bit off in your image. So I'd always recommend to really zoom out, and with Procreate you can just pinch 2 fingers, you can like zoom right out so it goes so small, and then when you see it from afar you can kind of just see like anything that looks a bit off. Another really good tip actually I'll quickly give you is if you open up the canvas under actions and then you click here on reference box, which now shows you the illustration in a small picture. You can actually zoom this in. Whilst you zoom in on your actual illustration and you're working on it really close up, you can see it in this little box. I think this is such a cool tool, and you can move the box around, you can make it like larger or smaller. And this wasn't a tips video, but another thing to see if anything looks off in your image, if you go up to actions again, canvas, and then you flip canvas horizontal. So when you do that, sometimes it can really help the eye see any mistakes. Definitely at the sketch stage before you start putting down the colour, because then you can really fix the mistakes before you dive into actually finalising the image. I think learning the basics of just editing brushes can be really handy. Sometimes Procreate just doesn't allow you that type of brush in a larger scale or something. Like for example, I have the 6B pencil, which I really love using, but it's very small, so you can only, that's the like maximum size you can get. And so instead of like sitting there colouring in something and taking ages because you can't get it any bigger, if you came and duplicated this brush, because then if you duplicate it and you make any mistakes, at least you've got the backup. If you click into it, you can change the brush behaviour to like be maximum size like that. I do already have a brush here that I already done in the past. So I have a large 6B pencil that colours in larger areas of my illustration. I'll leave a link below to it because it's a free brush you can just get, but if you don't want to go through all the settings and stuff, you can just grab it in the description below this video. The next thing is not making the most of using quick menu, which is such a good tool to have. I've got mine set up so that if I just press this little square button, it brings up this quick menu. So I've tried to choose like things I use the most here, like the liquify tool, flipping my canvas. I can use my logo stamp that I always put on all of my illustrations. If you hold down onto one of them, there's a whole list of all these things that you can actually get here. So you can even select an exact brush that you want to bring up if you use a certain brush all the time. If you come up to actions, preferences, gesture controls and quick menu, this is where you can choose how you bring up the menu. I feel like we should always avoid using like the blackest black pen to do our line art. So this actual black here is not even a full black. If I select that, it's actually like up from the blackest black. So it's a little bit less harsh on the eyes. It's a bit softer, but you can always change it at the end. You can still like do the line art or the sketch in black if you want to. And if you want to change it at the end, you can actually click the layer, press select, and if you just go to color fill, you can move this around in the box and it'll just change the color automatically. It's not like you can't use the blackest black. There are no rules. I just feel like it's very, very harsh, and to use a black that's a little bit softer is just gonna make everything look a little bit better. Overthinking an illustration can just lead us to like drawing for hours, over perfecting, which is something I used to do a lot. And I would spend ages on an illustration, zooming in, like erasing, rechanging things, adjusting everything. And yeah, it would take a long time. These days, I've just learned to stop overthinking the illustration and just keep it a little bit more sketchy, you know, and less perfected. Like this illustration didn't take me very long at all, but let's just see the time was for this one. So I'm going to canvas information and statistics, and this took me 43 minutes, even though I also added some extra things here. So when I posted it to Instagram, it was like ready to post, so that also tracks the time as well. But yeah, you can just see this one was a very quick sketch, and I even changed the sketch lines here, like you can see, like we just spoke about, to a softer warm reddish color almost, just so it blended with the whole illustration and gave it a softer vibe. And I love this kind of illustration. I'm actually going through a bit of a transition of my style of drawing at the moment, and also I feel like these illustrations look better because they have more emotion and movement with them, because the lines are not all perfect, which takes so much pressure off you to draw as an artist, I feel. When you're doing a drawing, I would always keep on top with naming your layers. Okay, that's not a very good example, is it? I haven't named every single layer, but as you can see, you got like the sketch, the hair, highlights, eyeshadow, eyes. So I always try and keep on top of naming layers. If you double click on a layer, then up here you can actually rename it. So it just makes it really helpful if you have so many layers going on. So I would always get into the habit of starting to do that from the very beginning, so that it becomes a repetitive habit. But another quick tip, if you want to find something on a layer and you don't know which layer it's on. So I already set this up in gesture controls, but if I hold down this little square and then I tap my pencil on the earrings, it will actually give me the layers that's on. So it's detecting the hair as well, but it's obviously brought up the layer that I actually have the earrings on. So I can just press that and it's now selected that layer. Under preferences, gesture controls again, and it's under layer select. I really hope that this has helped you. If you want to watch another video of mine, I'll leave one linked here on the screen. I'd love to see you in my next video. Definitely subscribe, and I'll see you all then. Bye!